welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is DOmeshera Marie, the artist, and I'm going to talk you through just a little bit of these moons that I painted sometime last year. So it's kind of going to go by a bit fast in some instances, and then in other instances, it's not. As of right now, you can see I'm painting a moon, and this one was the prosperous moon, where the theme was different types of green, different variations of green. I had not had a bunch of paintings in general that were green, so this was kind of a big deal for me to have, because I was trying something new. I had just started painting again, and this was one of my earlier paintings where I was still trying to figure out what technique I wanted to do. So Prosperous Moon was during a time where I was seriously trying to manifest abundance in general, and not just for myself but also for my sister, because we live together. Green is such an amazing color, known to be linked to money, stability, financial wealth, grounding in its own way, abundance, healing, growth, luck, and acceptance. It also is a color that can be representing of the earth in general, if you're into the sort of things that I'm into. So when it came down to me creating this prosperous moon, I was really trying to get into my manifesting bag. The kind of paint that I had was really watery and acrylic. And since I was in the beginning stages of painting again, and I had painted with oil paints like maybe 6, 7 years ago. I did not remember any type of technique with this acrylic. So it definitely came at a time where I was experimenting with, what I had going on with painting, and using that as a part of my spiritual journey of manifesting, and just all these good things. Now, here's the thing. I did not like the way this painting came out. Now, it was because of the technique in general and all this other stuff that I was like, I'm not really feeling this. So I told my sister, I was like, hey, yeah, I want to sell this as soon as possible. I want somebody to go ahead and take this off my hands. I want it sold as soon as possible. And my sister actually went to an event where she was working the door, and someone actually bought it off of her. She said they even gave her like an extra little tip or whatever for it too. So I mean, it was prosperous in its own way. So I believe that I did manifest that with those type of intentions, because it was bought very, very fast. I think I had it for maybe a couple of weeks, and my sister took it to an event. She told one of the people that was running it, and they bought it off of her just like that. So, in a way, this beautiful, beautiful painting that I personally did not like, even though I, was a painter, somebody did appreciate it. They liked it. I also have this up on my darkroom gallery if people would want one of those art prints of it. But yeah, me personally, I'm just like, yeah, even though I don't like it, maybe somebody else does like it. And it's the same thing, like my friends and my sisters told me, they were like, yeah, you may not like it, but other people might like it, which I do understand, because it happens with artists all the time, especially with songs that artists don't like, even the songs that they wrote themselves. They're just like, I don't really like this song. So that's how I felt about this painting. And yeah, that's my prosperous moon, and how it actually brought me a little bit of prosperity. And hopefully whoever owns it now, hopefully it brings them some prosperity as well. I believe sharing the prosperity is always a good thing. And also, it's a good point for me to look back at some of the work that, I may not agree with, and do some different techniques and stuff like that. But that's really about Prosperous Moon. And then moving on from Prosperous Moon, we have one of my favorite moons in one of my favorite colors. We have Blue Moon. Now, when it comes to this, quite literally, if you've seen any of my YouTube videos, you would see this is same technique. I use the same technique for the most part with this, but I drew more inspiration from my beautiful, beloved Black Blood Moon. So when it came down to the color blue, right? Blue Moon came at a time where I realized I did not have a huge painting with one of my favorite colors, which is blue. I too saw this as I like lay in between going to sleep and being awake. I just saw Blue Moon as if she was moving, like with her swirls and everything. I saw her as if she was quite literally moving, but in a different way from like my previous like blood moons, where those colors were playing on the colors of red and even a little bit of darker pink. This, this blue was kind of like this lighter experience. I was really going through some really interesting transformations during the blood moon phases that I painted. And with blue moon, I was just like, oh, I would love to paint something light and airy and blue and calming and soothing, because the color blue represents so many different things. It can represent focus, healing, water, flowing, ease, patience, harmony, protection, good fortune, and sincerity. Blue is also considered a moon color. If you ever have seen any of my Instagram posts where I talk about color magic and things like that, blue is considered a moon color. You can wear the color like light blue on Mondays because Mondays are known as moon days. And so I did the same technique I've done with my other moon paintings, but in a beautiful blue. I use lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of white. And then I even have a few undertones of this silver pigment that I picked up when I was doing my art shopping. So, I am deeply in love with the black blood moon swiggles. So I kept that going for this one as well, which I mean, I feel like it's great. And I really did appreciate how I went about doing, Blue Moon. Also, around the time that I was doing Blue Moon, there was a Blue Moon coming up. I quite literally completed Blue Moon around the same time a Blue Moon was coming up. It was so beautiful. Now, I would have to check my social media to see if I actually posted this beautiful Blue Moon on that Blue Moon, or if I was just painting it around that time. I have to check that again, because just thinking about it, I'm like, yes, there was a Blue Moon happening around. It's like this rare event. And I was like, wow, I'm painting a blue moon when the blue moon is about to come up. The blue moon, I'm trying to remember when the blue moon was. Okay, so the blue moon occurred around May 31st this past year, which is 2026, and it's supposed to be a rare moon where typically there's four moons in the same season, when generally, or in the same calendar month, is considered to be a blue moon. It's not actually the color blue, but it's the symbolism of blue being a rare moon. I don't know, why the color blue in general, where the other moons, they like the strawberry moon or the wolf moon, they have specific lore to them, based on the indigenous peoples tracking them. But yes, 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 yes. Love, 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 love the moon. Love the color blue. It is honestly amazing. I'm so happy with this work. It was, to me, definitely a labor of love when you have one of your favorite colors that you work well with, because the flowing of this was absolutely just. If you're a painter, just those works where it follows your heart. It was pretty much like meditation to me. I don't like being interrupted when I paint, because I feel like I get into such a meditative state when I'm painting. I paint in like layers, so I kind of compartmentalize my painting where I'm just like, okay, I want to paint this color, I want to get this layer going, I want to start on the base, and I want to build on top of that. It's very, 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 very important for me to do that. And that's how it was for me. So I feel like that's probably why I get a bit irritated. People might have a problem with that, but I'm telling you, when I'm in the zone, I don't like to be interrupted. I don't. I don't. It is what it is. And Blue Moon, every time I see her, because I have her in my living room, every time I see her, I'm just so happy. And I'm so like soothed and like calm, and just blue is such a nurturing color. I love the color blue. It's so interesting because it's supposed to be like a masculine color, but I feel like blue, especially the light blues that I use, is more so femme, very, very femme, very, very much so. So right now you'll see like the lighter blue swirls and stuff like that because it was eight of them, I believe. It was eight. So with each color I would focus on just that color, and I would put down, layer after layer after layer, so it looks thick, it looks beautiful, but still looks flowy. That's why I'm painting what can be seen as like outwardly. It's very flowy, very flowy, very flowy. So yeah, I mean, you can see what I'm doing here. I really am just yapping. It's the same technique but just different color. But it's just I like looking at it because it soothes me. It just makes me feel so nice to know that, years and years later that I'm painting, I'm finding my bliss once again. And yeah, that's really what being an artist is for me now. Years and years later, I'm finding my bliss in painting and renewing my love for it in a way that I just never expected to be able to. And if you're a painter, you're an artist, I hope that you do the same. I hope that you find your ease and find your bliss in art or whatever hobby that's not harmful to other people, and just keep your thing moving. Now, once I got into, doing the swirls and stuff, I quite literally I stopped recording as much. I stopped recording as much because I was like, you know what, I just want to get this painting done. And yeah, that basically was it. So, same techniques and everything like that. I did the rest like off camera because I want to give people an idea of what I'm doing, but if I don't want to keep repeating myself all the time. But also I do understand that new people could also look at my videos later on. Point being, I finished the rest off screen. If you would like to see more detail about that, you can definitely visit some of my previous videos of the blood moons or black blood moon or pale blood moon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my beautiful, beautiful blue moon. That is my prosperous moons and blue moon breakdown. If you would like to have art prints, you can check out my darkroom gallery. Other than that, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy the rest of Leo season. Bye.